Today's review is a somewhat older game called Starship Tycoon. Now, if you will allow me to have a little V for Vendetta moment, I will say that the means through which I acquired this game verify and yet vilify my virulent name. I'll let you figure out what that means. So, when you hear Tycoon in the title of a game, you probably think of much better games, like Zoo Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2. Well, this is not so much in the vein of those games. This is much more in the vein of other games that try to rip off the Tycoon name, like Cruise Ship Tycoon and Prison Tycoon 4. They somehow made 4 of those. I have no idea how, but that's another story. So to show you the quality and or lack thereof in this game, I'm going to give you a little anecdote of the mission Feed the Students. I'm going to be playing on the easiest difficulty for the purposes of this review. So here's the story. I'm going to hope that with the recording software I'm using you can read this yourself. If not, the story is essentially that there are a bunch of people starving on planet X, and you have to get them food before time Y elapses. This is how every mission works. You have to get thing X to planet Y before time Z elapses. So it gets very repetitive that way. And that's essentially the plot and the gameplay to every single mission. So the plot is rudimentary at best. However, most Tycoon games are that way. So we'll give it a little break. So let's check out the graphics. Alright, so as you can see, there are a lot of nebulae in the background, along with stars. Now the stars give a nice little 3D effect when you're moving around. Here's a planet that's in the middle of a storm, which is a little nice effect, but it's very repetitive. It's like one of those .gif files that you can find online, or GIF, however you pronounce it. Now up here you have a nice lens flare effect. This is rather impressive looking, if you ask me. It stands out from the rest of the game, at least. But it's a little confusing because, what am I, a camera in space? Because, I mean, there's not lens flare in real life. So, I guess I'm a camera in space, then. To unpause for a second, you can see the ship moving here. Now, the ship is not very detailed. There's some more down here I happen to know. Again, it looks like a carrot in space. This looks like a donut in space. Maybe the game designers are just hungry, but these designs are not very interesting, nor are they unique. Finally, the planets. Well, you can tell the planets apart, but they're not really very detailed. They're not that interesting looking. They do look unique enough, though. The ships are undetailed. The planets aren't really all that detailed looking. The background, I guess, is some detail because of the nebulae, but as you can see up here, all the nebulae really are the same shape, different sizes. It's kind of funny that they put these two right next to each other. Looks like some lazy game design. The other nebulae, I assume, are just turned on their sides. Yep, there's an S, again, turned on its side. So we'll get back to the score for the graphics and plot later. Oh my gosh, the music in this game. I currently have the music turned off to spare you having to listen to it. And I don't think you can hear the sound effects either. I'm going to rate all the sounds in one group. So as for the music is horrible. In fact, it's not even really music. It's one song. It's not even a good song either. I mean, you know, screw all the songs from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where you have like 20 different songs to pick out. The carousel songs playing, you have all these different songs playing at the same time. You have the background music, the sound effects to the park. No. You don't need that, right? You just need one song. Oh yeah, and who liked all the animal sounds in Zoo Tycoon anyway? And all the music you could hear in that. No one likes music, right? You just want one song in your game. That's the same in every single mission. I mean, that's all you want, right? Oh, it's not? Well, you're not going to like this game very much then, are you? But luckily, you can turn the music off. And yes, it's one of those games. As for the sound effects, when you click on a planet, you just get a little clicking sound. And when you set your course to a new planet, which I shall do now, you just get a little beep, beep, and that's it. Alright, you're probably beginning to pick up on something here. The pop-up windows can get a little bit annoying. That's an understatement. They are extremely annoying. It's like, if you pay for this game, it's like going to one of those websites that's like a bad website and has tons of pop-up windows. It's like paying for that pleasure. Alright, now about the planets, about the details here. Here's a planet called Volvox. That's actually not too bad of a name. But most of these planets have just stupid names that you would never think of yourself. It's like they just bashed on the keyboard for a while. Which is probably how they did it, because they didn't want to bother paying anyone to come up with names, because they're cheap. Just like the production values of this game. But anyway, back to Volvox, the one that begins with a V. The tech level is 9, nanotech. The law level is 3, which is a liberal democracy. Now, the technology and law, you might think are on a scale of 1 to 10. You would be wrong for your logic. This game was not designed by Vulcans. The law and tech levels are on a scale of 2 to 9. I'm supposing they intended to make it 1 to 10, but they forgot to actually put in any planets that are a 1 or a 10 in either category. So in reality, it's on a scale of 2 to 9. The other information here, like whether the planet's invested in agriculture, commerce, industrial, you'll never care about. Landing fee, you'll never care about. The cargo, passengers, you'll never really care about, because every planet has some. The law level you only care about because you might get attacked, but if you move quickly you won't. And your ship might get a little damaged, but who really cares? And the starport and tech level will determine what you can get repaired at that planet. So if you are looking at your ship repaired, that is important to you. But most of this information is not useful. The planet has notes which are entirely pointless because you can't actually act on them anyway. Like this is telling you to try the local food. Yeah, funny. Very funny. You can't actually do that, so thanks, game. Alright, let's get down to the gameplay. So here is... Well, the first thing you want to do after you pause the game, because it punishes you for existing, because you have to pay your crew, is you want to fire your crew that are human, and hire a droid. Thank you. This will allow you to save money on pilots and other positions in the long run. So the unemployment rate just went up. I'm sure you could draw some comparison between this and the real world if you wanted, but I'm not going to go there. So the top part here, the top half of the screen, I'll go over first. Here you have the bar. I'm not sure why there are droids at the bar. Maybe it's Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. But there are also people at the bar you can hire for your ship. They do the jobs you would expect. There can be a cargo hand, which allows you to carry more cargo, an engineer, which lets you have more engines, a navigator, which lets you have a heavier ship, and a pilot, that of course is self-explanatory, and a steward who allows you to have more passengers on your ship. There's a list of passengers you can get here. I'm getting 2. And there's a list of cargo you can pick up. Now, before I can pick up any cargo, I need to go to the for sale area and buy some cargo pilots. Now, in the for sale area, it looks like you have a whole bunch of options here. Like, oh, hey, look, there's finally some details in this game. But this is a lie. A straight-up lie. Because you will never use half of these things. Heck, you'll never use most of these things. Like a ship's galley, pointless. No reason to have it. Smuggling compartment. Well, you might use that one, but you don't have to win the game, and you have no real incentive to. Perishable cargo pod, unless you have to use it for the mission, like in this case, you're not going to want to use it. Hazardous cargo pod, same as the perishable one. Unless you have to, you're not going to want to use it. So that's the case for most of the things here. Like third-class cabins, people hardly pay anything for those. Just get a first-class one, people pay more. Here's the Shipyard, finally. Here you can buy really crappy ships that are really overpriced, such as the Early Bird, which you would think would be a fast ship based on its kind of stupid name. But no, it just has one engine, like mine, that I got for free at the beginning of the game, automatically. Yeah. Or you could pay an obscene amount of money for this ship, which is a piece of crap. You know, up to you. I'm just saying I wouldn't buy it. At the bottom here, you can see the passengers you have on your ship, the cargo. It doesn't matter what type of cargo you have, they all pay the same. Your crew, then modules. Modules show what exactly you have on your ship. Like here are my cargo pods, my fuel tanks, my engine, the crew cabins I don't need. Because robots don't need crew cabins. The next little tab here lets you get repairs on your ship. And the last one is more false micromanagement. Here you can adjust the prices for people and cargo and what type of gas you get, unrefined, standard, or premium. You will never adjust any of this, by the way. There's absolutely no reason to. You will do fine in the game without ever touching this or understanding how it works. So this is more fake detail, more fake diversity, more fake micromanagement. So how does the gameplay break down past that? Well, once you get your cargo and people, you go to the next planet. Normally you go very slowly. Very slowly. Now, you can see this is extremely slow. The game developers, seemingly realizing their mistake, put in the 3 times speed, which we're using right now. Now look, when the pacing of your game is so bad that you have to put in the option to pause the game every time you land at a starport, which is what I just did, or you have to put in the 3 times as fast as normal speed, something is not right. I mean, imagine if they had to do that in Skyrim. Imagine if the game were so slow they had to put in a quest, or not a quest, an option to do it 3 times as quickly. Okay, come on. It's just lazy. So here you pick up more cargo, more passengers, and you go on to the next planet at 3 times speed. Now things will break down, which gets you more annoying pop-up windows. Your crew will complain about shit, which gets you more annoying pop-up windows. When you land at a dangerous planet, they'll tell you, even though you could see that for yourself, which gets you more annoying pop-up windows. And then guess what you do next? After you close all the annoying pop-up windows, more pop-up, but then you close those. Then probably some more pop-up, but after you close all of them, if no more pop-up, what you do is go to the starport, get more passengers, and get more cargo. Then you're off. And you do this every single time. It's all you do. You just travel back and forth. It's like a Flash game in its repetitiveness. This is drawing a lot of comparisons to a Flash game. Now, at this point, I am rich as heck, because this game is far too easy, and yes, I am playing it on the easiest difficulty, but still, the strategy remains the same for any difficulty. So now I can buy pretty much whatever I want for my ship. And at that point, you've pretty much won the game. So congratulations, you travel back and forth between like 3 or 4 planets repeatedly, get a ton of money, and that's it. You travel from place X with a bunch of cargo and people to place Y, drop off your cargo and people, pick up more, travel to place Z. You feel like an airplane, you know? You're just going from place X to Y, never getting to enjoy where you land. Always having to just take off. So overall, the graphics in this game are passable, but not that much better than what you'd find in a Flash game. So 5 out of 10. The music is atrocious. I'm not even going to call it music. The sounds are atrocious. They get a 2 out of 10. The only thing you can say for them is that there is, in fact, sound. That's it. There is sound. That's why it gets a 2 out of 10 rather than a 1. The plot is just... It's just there. It gets a 4 out of 10. The fun factor, it's not fun to play. It's incredibly repetitive. And that goes in the gameplay as well. I'm not giving fun factor a separate score. The gameplay, overall, I just described all of it, so I'm not going to summarize it again. The gameplay gets a 4 out of 10. It's just way too repetitive. So my overall score for this game is a 4.5 out of 10. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. Heck, you know what? Even if you're going to pirate this game, it's not worth it. Pirate something else.